Hello, I'm Adil Abduramanov, Regional Development Officer at Ukrainian Students for Freedom and also one of the speakers at the Ukrainian Renaissance International Conference held in Ivano-Frankivsk. I act within the capacity of the operating officer as well as work on the regional development. That means I work closely with regional branches of Ukrainian Students for Freedom to make sure they have enough projects and have good ideas that they want to fulfill. So essentially mentoring them through their project management initiatives that they want to take and basically inspiring them to do amazing work. Well, apart from Ukrainian Students for Freedom members participating in the events that Students for Liberty organize, I think one of the main points of collaboration was exactly this conference. It's nice to host an international conference in the middle of the full-scale invasion of the Russian Federation in Ukraine, to actually think about what it will take to rebuild Ukraine, and not only to rebuild it, but to build it better and with a much more stable and sustainable future. And this is a point of dialogue not only between Ukrainians but also with the international partners as well. And so the perspective of our European colleagues is very much appreciated. Well, to start off, on top of all of the student activities that a regular student in Ukraine has to take, like studying and preparing for the exams, they also have to take up volunteering opportunities as well to help the army efforts to protect their freedoms and protect Ukraine. So I know a lot of student-led initiatives that not only were introduced to direct action, as in sending humanitarian aid to civilians, or supporting equipment to military personnel, but also cultural projects that tackled the issues of reintegration of deoccupied territories, or providing psychological support to those in need, because as we understand, the hostilities are a very stressful thing to experience, and therefore in order to process this trauma there needs to be some sort of help as well. So so far I think it's the period of a huge uncertainty, but also a moment of great opportunity, because today you can do anything, and as long as it's beneficial for the victory of Ukraine. And this led to a spontaneous flow of creative destruction coming in, and which led to the creation of wonderful projects. Some of them we still see today. For example, one of the most proud projects done by the Ukrainian Students for Freedom was the Kyiv Humanitarian Depot, led by the former Chief Operating Officer of Students for Freedom, Anatoly Didek. It's one of the most successful student-led volunteering organizations that actually tackled the problems of military personnel and fulfilled their needs at the level of that large-scale volunteer initiatives like Pritula Foundation or Save Life in UA did, but on a much smaller scale to be more flexible within the help they can provide. And the other being Другий Front, led by the president of Ukrainian Students for Freedom, Kirill Dymov, the volunteer foundation that deals with the problems of civilians in the south regions of Ukraine, and they have been on the edge and they have been within the front lines of protecting and helping the civilians after the Kakhovka plant incident caused by the attack of Russian Federation. And so it's inspiring to work with these people and to understand that not only are they successful volunteers, but also young people themselves, and that means they still have their bright futures ahead of them, and they can still do even better things in the future. I suppose, well, one of the main challenges is actually, surviving. Yeah, I mean, it sounds grim because there is nothing really to be optimistic about whenever you actually have your studies, or whenever you prepare for something for the exam. So at any moment in time you can be your house can be attacked by the Russian Federation, and your life just ends right there. So that's one of the main problems, and the other being that the family is split apart. Some of my fellow students have their parents fighting on the front lines, and it's the point of great stress for them, because they, well, of course they worry about the relatives, and it's not only about those fighting, but also those in the occupied regions. Many students cannot return home to their parents because there is an occupation going on, and it would be real dangerous for them to just go and try to visit them. So these are some of the challenges that they have to tackle right now and then, and the more underlying problem here is the uncertainty of what's going to happen next, and if whether we win this war or not, because there is high hopes that that this war will end in our victory. However, it should be done with the understanding that everyone will support us in this, and we still are not sure whether that is the case. Hi, I'm Adil Abduramanov, Regional Development Officer for Ukrainian Students for Freedom. In fact, I'm the first Crimean Tatar to ever join the organization, but I hope there will be many more later. As Regional Development Officer, I help the regional branches of Ukrainian Students for Freedom to develop amazing projects and inspire youth across Ukraine to fight for their freedom. I hope that we will bring Ukrainian Students for Freedom to Crimea, and so I would like you to join us on this wonderful adventure and help us take Crimea back.